Hey guys, what's up? I want to talk to you guys about something important to me real quick. Actually, two subjects that are related. First, I want to talk about my good friend, my late friend, Glenn Eyler. May he rest in peace. And the second thing I want to talk about is something that still somewhat affects me, even though I'm mostly in the tour bus industry. I'm still in the bicycle industry. And I just want to share an opinion that I have about the way I think that the bicycle industry should go, that shops should go in order to survive and or even thrive, while at the same time providing the customer with a good experience, great products, great prices, great aftermarket support, and that kind of stuff. So this is my opinion. I used to be, like my friend, the late Glenn Eyler, I used to be the former store manager of North End Cycle Limited in Virginia Beach, Virginia, that used to exist, and also the assistant manager of that store under Glenn, who taught me a lot. The shop was owned by a gentleman named Eric Cohen, a great guy, surfer, mountain biker, crazy road cyclist. I mean, it's just a great surf beach. Like, we're 2 blocks from the oceanfront lake. The bike shop I work for now, y'all know who it is. Awesome people. I've known them forever. But like North End was something different, man. It was like, dude, it was like freaking awesome. Especially for me back in my late 20s, to 30s, roughly time frame. I was still racing some. Just so much cool stuff. Yes, we're men. So much stupid stuff we've done too. But just, no offense to where I currently am involved with, some of that spirit is still there. We're cyclists, but at the same time, there's some stuff that we could do back then that we can't do now. I'll put it that way. Okay, anyway, this is my 2020, 3 Rocky Mountain Growler for you. This is my personal bike. I used to have a full suspension Fuji mountain bike that I got back in 2014 during a time that I really wasn't directly in the bicycle business. I gave that bike a couple of months ago to a lady I used to be very close to. I'll put it that way, momentarily close to. And she has it. And a member of her family needed it because unfortunately their bike got stolen. I saw their post on Facebook and I just gave it to him because I wasn't using it, because I have this thing and I need some work. I need to take it in to get it cleaned or clean it myself. I can do either or, probably clean it myself. I need to clean the cassette chain. It's dirty. It's been sitting around a good part of the winter. I need to straighten my seat post out, right? It's kind of like it's slightly off. It's kind of like the mechanic guys. The mechanic can fix the crap out of your car, but like, look at their own car. A lot of times it's crap. Of course, I'm going to go over my bike real quick before I talk about Glenn, right? I mean, this is, whatever. By the way, Atlantic Ocean Watch on YouTube. Why haven't you subscribed yet? Affordable watch reviews, blah, 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 Atlantic Ocean Watch. Anyway, what I changed on the bike, it came with an SR Suntour fork, Raiden fork on the front. The Raiden fork's actually a decent fork. SR Suntour is known for usually lower end forks, but the Raiden's actually cool. The only thing about the Raiden fork is the quick release, or rather type of skewer that it has compared to what Fox is using, for example, on this Rhythm 34. That thing the through axle and all rust like crap, and it's just really hard operating that mechanism. And that's a flaw, something really stupid, in my opinion. Rocky Mountain did. It should have spec'd those parts slightly better. But with the exception of that, overall, Rocky Mountain, with the price point, did a great job. There's a Growler 20 below this. There's a Growler 50 above this. Still available, different colors now, unless you find some that are left over, which you can at a certain bike shop, folks. They are on sale right now if you want a cool hardtail or full sus, which I'll probably get one of those maybe. I don't know. I might get one next year. I don't know. I'm old. My back hurts. Hardtails are cool, but my back hurts. I'm old. Anyway, go buy a bike. Anyway, I added this Fox 34 Rhythm fork. What Rhythm is, just so you understand, I'm going to get into Glenn in all in a minute and I think about the bike shop industry, all that and all, because that's important. Rhythm is basically the OEM stock version of the Fox 34 fork, the non-Kashima coat. I do want Kashima coat one day. I do have Kashima coat, by the way. It's on my roof rack on my my Kuat piston, what's it, SR or SR Pro, whatever roof rack. It's got Kashima coat, which is cool. So the bike doesn't got it, but I do have Kashima coat on my rack. Go figure. Basic, Shimano Dior, now what Q's is kind of right around Dior or whatever, just below SLX, and of course XT, and of course the ultimate below XTR, and of course SRAM equivalents, GX, all that kind of stuff. I changed the fork, found this somewhere, I'll say that. Had it put on by the shop. Awesome. That's the one change that I made. Makes such a difference. Rayton's a great fork, don't get me wrong. From SR Sun Tour, that skewer thing, if they fix that skewer thing, Rayton would give RockShox and Fox and Öhlins a run for their money. They really would. But this Rhythm fork is better. I'm a dude, so I know, stupid ladies, I know I'm a guy, right? Yeah, it's an air fork, rebound adjustment, lockout, air in there, stuff like that, whatever. Crank Brothers candy like type pedals. I picked red for some reason. I don't know. I was like, well, do blue, black, whatever. Got this from I'll just say our store down towards the Charlotte area, and yeah, I got this light for the back that I hardly even use. And I have a headlight too, and other accessories. This is the only saddle that my booty likes, the company-wise, my booty likes. WATB, Wilderness Trails bikes. These saddles are legendary. I first found out about them when I had my first real mountain bike, which was a GT Rebound. Sad what's going on right now with GT Rebound with a RockShox Indy S or C fork on it. That a lady named Marion, some of y'all know what I'm talking about, and the old Virginia Beach store sold me back in the day, shortly before I got into the bicycle business. And of course, Max's Minion DHR 2 rear, Max's Minion DHF on the front. Great, because I'm not as young as I used to be. I can't be riding the skinnier race level stuff because I'll kill myself. I'm old, fat. My skills are they suck compared to what I used to be able to do. So yeah, these fat ones are great. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have a water bottle or anything, but I mean, I have the bosses here for that if I need to. And I'm trying to think. Even my high-end Giant NSR C2. C2 I used to own back in the day, and my Specialized, my 2005 Specialized FSR XC Pro, Fox float rear, RockShox Reaper in the front. Of course, now all of them, I put WTB saddles on them if it didn't have them already. Giant usually does WTB at that level. Anyway, great stuff. Added a bell, because I'm a goofball, but also, too, damn, kids kind of like it, when I'm doing that, whatever. And plus, I don't have to always yell, on your left, trail on your right, coming through. I can just hit the bell, and if I'm going slower, people will usually get the clue. Okay, let's get into Glenn, folks. Glenn Eyler, my Navy brother from a different mother. Glenn is an honorably discharged Navy veteran. He passed away recently. A friend of mine that I work with at Conti's End, North End, Donald, thank you, Donald, told me about this unfortunate thing. He had some kind of a major surgery and passed away recently. Glenn is my brother times 2, and that he is a Navy brother from a different mother, chief petty officer, as far as I can remember his rank, and a cyclist, and my former manager before I became a bike shop manager. Glenn, we call him Grumpy. We call him Grumpy because Mr. C used to bring us road bike in there all the damn time, like a first generation Trek road bike with the gusseting That's not really gusset, but some of y'all know what I'm talking about. The gusseting, and then the carbon fiber tubing bonded to like in the middle. I'm talking old. And back in the day when Lance, before we found out he cheated, Lance, come on now. One nut. The Mondone came out, named after the Col de Mondone, which is a mountain in the Tour de France, like an infamous mountain. Like, how can I say this? I know a lot of you guys are not cyclists, but I'm gonna put it like this. You ever watch football, obviously baseball, whatever, and they have their hardest thing, right? And don't get me wrong, they're hard. I've never been there, but I've done some stupid climbs in my life, mountain biking, a little bit of road. So I'm a mountain biker pretty much. Let me tell you something. Col de Mondone will kill you. Like, literally kill you. Descending, you will die. You lose control. Like, you literally, bye-bye. Climbing, from just the heart rate and the intensity and the sweat, and depending on the time of year and all that, you're doing that, whatever, you will die. I mean, I'm just saying, it is, people do not understand how my brain, I'm old, I'm losing it, how in shape cyclists are, except for, of course, there's older ones now who are kind of fat and getting a little jiggly, but the bike keeps you in good shape. Glenn would kill you on the bike. Glenn will kill you on a road bike, like Eric will kill you on a road bike. I mean, murder you, like death, you're done. You might as well just get in a SAG vehicle and put your tail between your legs and just watch. You know, you're done. I remember back in the day, I was waiting for, I just traded in my giant NRS A1 aluminum frame bike, like mid-tier giant full suspension bike, cross country at that time, to get my giant NRS C2, which was carbon fiber for main frame and aluminum swing arm. The NRS C2 no resonance system from Giant, which is the predecessor of the Giant Maestro suspension system that they currently use, which is like a VPP, virtual pivot point kind of thing. Anyway, and Eric, thanks CK by the way, Eric did something really cool while I was waiting. I didn't have a bike, so Eric's like, dude, use my bike. Eric had, and for those that ride, know, okay, Eric had a beautiful blue Ellsworth Truth. God, that bike's Tony Ellsworth made some cool bikes. I talked to him one time back in the day at Colley Avenue in Norfolk, the bike shop that used to be at 3104 Arctic Avenue when I first got into the bicycle business back in the day. And I talked to Tony Ellsworth back in the day. Cool dude. It's so sad what happened to Ellsworth and many bike companies like GT right now, things that are going on. But for you as a consumer, if you can find a GT at the bike shop or whatever, you can possibly get a great deal, really great deal, especially from a bike shop right now. GT's Gary Turner. Gary Turner still makes his own frames and stuff, limited like custom kind of stuff. But unfortunately, GT. Only thing about GT is Gary Turner now. It's just a name, which is freaking sad. A lot of companies that way, for example. But Pond and others. But anyway, another conversation related. But anyway, Glenn would kick your ass. I was riding Eric's Ellsworth, again, those that ride know. I think that was the motto. Like, yeah. And my NRS was awesome, but there was something about that beautiful Ellsworth and that blue with, I think, the silvery like lettering on it. That, damn, bro. Like high-end stuff on it, like higher end that I had, custom stuff on it. I'm like, damn. I'm trying to remember, did they have a Paul rear derailleur on that thing? I don't maybe I'm thinking about something else. Yeah. Anyway, Glenn was a monster. We were on some of our epic Thursday night ride trails. That's all I'll say about that. Lots of you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, Glenn was gone. I was in shape back then and still racing. And the best I've ever done was 11th place at Shinamatics. It was in 2001. I actually made a mistake. I had started in the beginner class, somehow ended up in the sport class, and managed to get 11th place. The only reason I got 11th place back then, by the way, in my opinion, I mean, yeah, I was in good shape back then, but the RockShox SID forks had just come out, and the SIDs were cracking at the brake arch above the brake bosses for the cantilever brakes back in the day. For those that don't know what the hell that is, back in the day, we used to have V brakes, rim brakes. This is like the brake boss area, roughly this area here on the RockShox SIDS was cracky. I had a Cannondale is it my F400? But I think it was my F700. I think it was my F700 at that time, and both of Cannondale Team Colors CAD3 frame, Cannondale Advanced Aluminum Design frame. It was a head shock fatty on it, and that fork was bulletproof. Anyway, but Glenn is a freaking monster. And where am I going with this? I don't know. I'm just talking about Glenn. I love Glenn. Glenn was awesome. Mr. Coghill, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, but so many memories of Glenn and North End and other stuff, even off the bike, like just parties at his house and other places, like with coastal racing and stuff, and North End and Conti's and just the whole bike scene in Hampton Roads back then. Something that I really, really miss, but you know, life. But still on it somewhat. And Glenn was trying to fix Mr. C's bike. And Glenn would call him Grumpy because he would curse his butt off because Mr. C's bike was a pain in the butt. He had like old school but nice stuff on it. And finally, Eric, Glenn, and I, after what, 3 years, finally convinced Mr. C to get a Mondone like Lance was riding. Awesome bike, like Lance and Tyler used to ride back in the day. And Mr. Coghill was like, "Oh, this bike is awesome." We were looking at each other like wanting to kill him, especially Glenn, because of all the frustration trying to fix Mr. C's, with all due respect, damn bike. And Mr. C, by the way, don't get it twisted. Mr. C, I don't know where he is now, but that dude got banked. But that's what we call Glenn Grumpy. And like just the whole thing about North End, it was like a wonderful thing. I learned a lot. Had good times and bad times at North End, at Conti's, in the bicycle industry in general. But you know, it was good for me because it helped me, a young Blaine, to grow, to have some more sense of responsibility. Not that the Navy don't give you that, thrust it right at you, but it's like a different kind of responsibility, a different kind of you know, things to be concerned with, stuff like that. And my customers throughout the years, Glenn's customers, Eric customers, you know, Norton Conti's and all that. So many wonderful people throughout the years that have done nice things for us all. But Glenn will be missed. He must be my Navy brother from a different mother and my cycling brother. Lastly, before I end, because I'm long-winded, to the bicycle industry, whom I am still somewhat involved with, who I love, like the bus industry. Guys, remember this. There's one really important thing that's going to help us out in 2025. And that's this. Because high-end bikes are cool. Dude, I would love it if this thing was XTR full sus, full Kashima coat front and rear, Fox float fork in the back, okay? I'm talking Shimano XTR. I'm trying to remember if they have Di2 XTR. I think they do. Di2 XTR wireless shifting, okay? Craig Brothers still, okay? I'm talking like straight up carbon fiber freaking machine. Badass, like at least, I'm not gonna tell you what I pay for bikes, but I'm gonna say this, at least retail like around $7,000. Although bikes can get up to like over 20 grand for pro level stuff, like seriously noble crap, just so you know. But like at least $7,000. I'm not gonna tell you what I pay for bikes. And even if I wasn't in business anymore because of what I know, I'm not gonna tell you what I pay for bikes. But because I'm poor, but it's nice knowing things. Man, you guys have to remember one thing. The high-end cool stuff is cool. But remember, cycling is about having fun. It's about being in shape. Yeah, it's about racing. There's a little niche, whatever. Whether it's road, gravel, cycling, tricycles, unicycles. Yes, unicycles. You know, recumbents. Yes, recumbents. Tandem recumbents. Yes, tandem recumbents. Not tandems, but trandems. A few of those. I think a few quandems, or what do you call them, like quad bicycles. You know, all kinds of stuff, from tricycles for kids to tricycles for adults, cheap ones to high-end, stupid pro-level race mountain and road that cost more than your car, and by the time somebody wins an Olympic medal on it or wins a UCI championship on it, worth more than your estate. Seriously. And, but it's one thing I have to remember, guys. This sport is about being healthy, but the main thing is it's about fun. You shops out there, no matter who you are, go back to remembering your bread and butter bike inventory. Bread and butter bike inventory. Have a couple of nice high-end bikes in there because that stuff's cool. Make sure that you have enough high-end stuff for your particular shop's normal clientele that comes in there with a little bit extra, okay? Make sure you have good relationships with the suppliers. Make sure you have good relationships with people from other shops because things happen. And I'm not going to tell you how many times I've helped other shops when I was a store manager and how many times other shops have helped get me out of a jam as a former assistant and former store manager of a bicycle shop. It's a wonderful business in certain ways, but it's still a business. And there are challenges as a manager you must face. And Glenn, God rest his soul forever, shipmate, in peace, taught me a lot like Eric did, like David did, and to some degree still does now, like Chuck did back in the day, like Minnie did. People in the bicycle industry, not only here in Hampton Roads, but in the Charlotte area, DC, up north, other places I've been, stuff like that. And even people within the tour bus industry, you find out they're cyclists and you're talking to customers and passengers and you learn stuff from them. And you're like, what? So you're like, oh, I thought, dude, it's such a great thing to get into. But guys, remember, we are about fun. We are about families. We are about physical fitness. People cannot afford stupid, super high-end bikes. They are cool. No doubt, guys. No doubt. Wish I had one. My bike's pretty sweet, though. But remember, guys, we're selling to families who want to have fun. Give them good bicycles at the bike shops that they can afford. Good quality bikes. If they don't have a certain amount of money, fine. Start them off with the base model bike and explain to them over time they can add parts. Like that fork, for example. They can upgrade. I mean, I started off with a cheap bike, and before you know it, I'm riding the second highest in bike, a giant head back in the day. My bike now is not bad, but I mean, I'm a nobody. I'm broke. I'm poor. Help me. Give me some money, please. God, I hope the bus industry picks up soon because, man, I'm telling you, this season, ugh. Anyway, I love the bus business too. That's all I have to say. I miss Glenn. I miss him a lot. I wish I could have seen him before he passed. Glenn and his wife, Jacqueline, are nice, warm-hearted, good-hearted people. Folks, y'all know I'm talking about those that knew Glenn and Jacqueline. Jacqueline, God bless you. I wish there was more I could do for you. I really do, because she's a sweet, sweet, sweet lady. Always nice to my stupid ass, like just a wonderful lady. And Glenn, I mean, just a good guy from the Navy side, chief petty officer stuff, telling my dumb ass stuff I need to know, keeping me out of trouble with Eric's dad, Herb. I love Herb. I miss Herb. And all those good things. That's all I have to say. I'm sorry. I tried not to ramble. Keep the rubber side down forever. Let me get my stupid ass back to some cleaning around here. I need to clean this damn drivetrain. It's dirty as hell. I've been sitting around for a couple of months and throw my leg back over the top too. Please support your local bicycle shops. Please support your local tour bus companies. I love you all. Glenn, my Navy brother, my cycling brother from a different mother. Please God, please Jesus, let him rest in peace. Glenn, just a nice guy. Have an XTR day.